Okay, The Acolyte, Season 1, Episode 8, titled Episode 8, the finale. Not even called the finale, just Episode 8. Oh, the creativity knows no bounds with this show. Okay, where to begin with this one? I am really going to try and make this video much shorter. The last two have been like 20 minutes. I don't want to waste your time that much. So I'm going to say this. The episode sucked. It was terrible. It was terrible. Again, I'm going to start off, not going to start off, but I have not been the biggest Star Wars fan pretty much since The Last Jedi. I loved the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. I didn't mind Ahsoka. It was okay. Obi-Wan gave us a pretty cool Vader fight in the end. Book of Boba Fett had 2 good episodes with the Mandalorian in it, Din Djarin. Rise of Skywalker was terrible. The Acolyte, I'm sorry, I didn't watch Andor. I haven't watched the Clone Wars. I haven't watched Rebels. I haven't watched any like the animated stuff really. Watched some of Visions. Anyway, bringing it to the Acolyte, man, this was bad. It was bad, like bad. And it had potential. I didn't mind the first 2 episodes. I thought there was they started with this nice little murder mystery, right? But oh man, it derailed fast, right? We all saw episode 3, and for me, I started reviewing it episode 5. Now, so I'm gonna try and do some positives in here. The first thing for me, the positive thing was honestly the fight between Smilo Ren, or oh my god, what's his name? The stranger, they're calling him Chimere and Soul. Actually, that was a pretty sick fight. Like I'll admit that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's going to be straight up haters that just hate it no matter what. I'm trying to look for some good things, and I'm trying. The fight with them was pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. I loved there was this one moment where Chimere threw the dagger and the big part of the saber, and it's like circling around Soul, and then he like runs in to hit him, and I was like, oh snap. Like, figured anyway. No, Soul is a good fighter, and I loved it. He like stops them both, and there's this like forced push. It was great. They have that little samurai anime moment where they both run at each other, and then it's almost like I think it happened as well with Obi-Wan and Maul in was it Rebels, maybe Resistance, I don't know, one of the animated shows. But they see them run at each other, and then Saul's got this like wicked pose, and it turns out he cut his Chimere's saber in half. Cool. I love that action. That was great. Soul, the actor, had some great moments, some really great acting moments. And I'll leave it at that, because the story was terrible. Like, basically, I can't remember how it started, but he had May trapped prisoner, and she manages to break through her cuffs and stun him and get on a little X-Wing escape thing, and he's chasing her through Saturn's rings or some other planet's rings, and May crash lands from space, guys, space, and she's fine. Not a scratch on her. She's fine. Like, into a mountain or a hill or something. She's fine. That's why she could survive falling down a little, like, mountain or whatever she fell down. And even when they show that later in the episode, she's like, this is how I escaped, and she's showing OSHA. I'm like, that's a flat surface still. How are you? Anyway, she was fine from that fall. So, yeah, she fell from space, so she was definitely fine from that fall in episode 3. And then on the flip side, I didn't rewatch this episode, and I kind of actually split. I watched the beginning at first for like a few minutes, did something, and then I came back. But he has this conversation, and Osha had the mask on from the end of the last episode, and she's like, I saw May and she had a lightsaber, and I'm gonna go get her. And Chimera's like, well, how? I got the ship. And she's like, well, I know where she was. I know where she is. Okay, well, we'll both get in the ship and then we'll race and see who gets her first. Like, it's so ridiculous, guys. Like, especially when you know that these characters can do mind stuff. All you had to do was like, okay, where is she? Done. Like, literally what you see at the end of the episode, he mind wipes May. Like, I'm sorry. Spoilers. I'm sorry. I should have said that. But he's like, he mind wipes her. Like, literally just, mind wipe. She remembers nothing after AJ. Like, it's that fast, And he was not even, like, right near her. They're hugging, and he's like, meh. Done. God. So, like, he could have just been like, okay, where is she? Like, just that fast. Because, like, May is the same level of force power as Osha, I guess. Anyway, that's, I'm going to be all over the place. I apologize. So they really, the whole thing of the episode is, yep, so Soul killed their mom. But not once. He says in like one scene twice, both to May and to Osha, I was trying to protect you, and that's why I killed her. Basically, like, through other dialogue. Dude, all you had to say was, I panicked. I'm really sorry. She turned into a freaking smoke monster. And I was worried about and May was right there. I was worried about you. Like, he did say I was scared. I was worried about you. I want to protect you. Great. He did say all that. Good. But, like, man, like, it's so frustrating to watch this kind of storytelling because the premise is good. Someone is murdering the Jedi, and the show was advertised as you're sympathizing with the Sith, but you're making the Jedi evil. Here's the problem. The Sith can be passionate. Like, again, I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I'm more of a casual thing because, as I've said in other videos, I'm just a big fan of the original trilogy. That's what I grew up watching. And it's not that the Jedi suppress their emotions or whatever, but it's like basic storytelling. The Jedi are good. That's why it's called the light side, and the Sith are bad. The dark side of the Force. Like, you don't have to. There doesn't always have to be a sympathetic villain. There doesn't, like. I don't like that we always have to have, like, the Emperor. You're not supposed to sympathize with. He's evil. That's it, right? Again, I'm sorry. My jumbled all over the place. Anyway, they all get to the planet. They all get to Brendok, which the temple, because both Osha and Chimere get to the temple, which is fine, even though I'm pretty sure it burned down, right, and exploded. But yet the elevator is just, all you got to do is connect some wires, and the elevator works fine. They get inside, and then, like, May had got there, and Soul is trying to find her. He keeps yelling, May. But, like, we don't even see how she got out of her spaceship. She landed in the mountains, like, crash lands, and she gets to that place, like, faster than Soul. What the hell? It makes no sense. And again, so then they're all fighting. Like, again, so I apologize if I missed things. Like, there's a scene where Venestra is, they're back at Coruscant, and her Padawan guy, he's like, oh, I let the senator's here to see you. And she's like, you let him in the control room? Like, she freaks out at him. For why? No reason. Has a quick chat with the senator, and he's basically like, I don't trust the Jedi because as soon as one Jedi snaps, there's gonna be people that die, basically. And that's basically foreshadowing what they're gonna talk about Soul, or what they're gonna pin on Soul anyway. And it's also the guy who played Martian Manhunter. At least I think it was. Who I like that actor. He played Martian Manhunter on Supergirl. I didn't watch last season. It was going downhill. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So they get to the planet, and yeah, Soul and Chimera are fighting, May and Osha are fighting, and all of a sudden, like, Osha's a ninja master. Like, they're both like crazy, like karate, boom, 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 backflips, kips, neck springs, boom, boom, boom. You know, and twice in the episode, May and then Chimera just vanish, right? Like when they get to the door and Osha's like, the only way to get in is through this elevator, right? Which somehow is intact. It's like in The Rise of Skywalker when we see the Death Star from Return of the Jedi, which had been exploded into like a trillion pieces, little pieces, but yet somehow a good ginormous miles, like a mountain-sized portion is still intact. What? It's kind of like this. The base blew up. Nobody's been there, and yet it's fine. It's just a little like dusty, I guess. Where are the witches' bodies? Again, May is blaming Soul for the deaths of these witches, but it's like you're he had legitimate fear. And look, he did make a mistake by killing the mom, like preemptively, but she turned into a monster. Like, why wouldn't he panic? And there was a child there. It's so frustrating to watch this show. Anyway, fight happens. May disappears. Soul beats Chimera. And again, that is a wicked fight. I'm going to say that. That was wicked, that fight. I'll give it that. I will give it that. I would actually rewatch that fight. Just that. And all of a sudden, the four of them show up. And, you know, May's like, did you kill my mother? And of course, she manages to disarm Soul because he doesn't sense her yet. And everyone can sense everybody else, right? Like the Jedi land on, sorry, I keep flip-flopping. I keep going, my mind is jumbled. I apologize. But like, Vanessa told her Padawan accountant guy to get as much Jedi as possible without causing a ruckus or basically be inconspicuous about it. Like, come on. What the hell? Why doesn't Yoda sense any of this? Why? And she lands on the planet. Anyway, they all land on the planet, and Chimera has the helmet off. And she knows right, as soon as he takes it off, she's like, you. They're not even close. And she's like, you, knows. So if she can sense him from like somewhere across the planet, wherever, because there's no distance ever given. Nobody, like, anyway. But yet, Soul can never sense May or Osha or which one is which. He gets disarmed by May. He tells her, yeah, she makes him confess that he killed her mom. And all he had to say was, I was scared. It was a mistake. And then Osha shows up and she's like, is it true? And it's like, did you not just hear what I said? So she makes him say it again. She picks up his lightsaber. She gets angry and she starts force choking him out of nowhere because all of a sudden she has Sith powers. Kills him. And as she's doing that, before she kills him, you see the lightsaber, the kyber crystal, turn from blue to red. Cool. Kills Soul. He's like, it's okay. Oh my God. It's so frustrating. And kills him. Chimera goes to like console her, I guess. And then she pulls up the lightsaber. They sense the Jedi. They all flee. The Jedi get there. And for some reason, Vanessa can hear exactly what happened like 16 years ago. You know, and they, you know, the two girls escaped one way. Well, that's when May shows Osha how she escaped from the, you know, when she fell. But no explanation how she survived. Like, there's no height shown, how deep it was. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter at this point. They survive. Chimera finds them. And Osha's like, you know what? How about I go with you and leave May alone? Because clearly May's now turned good for some reason, even though they both... Oh, yeah, because what was it? She didn't want Soul to die. She wanted him to confess. But what... Like, again, what he would have confessed to would have been fine. Like, what they wouldn't have, doesn't even, like, they wouldn't have stripped him of his Jedi. He wouldn't have gone to jail. And then, like, what, oh, God. And then, so anyway, Osha tells Chimera to wipe May's mind, they realize that they don't know how they created their little nursery rhyme, always one, always two, whatever it is. Don't know how they created it, but Osha's like, I thought you made it up. And May's like, I don't know. Anyway, he wipes May's mind. She gets, the two of them disappear. She gets arrested by the Jedi. You find out that Venestra was the master of Chimera, and she didn't know he was alive. Because again, nobody knows that somebody's alive this whole time. Like, ridiculous. And so did she give him those slashes? Because she's got the whip, right? But she's always been a Jedi. There's no hint, at least right now, that she was a Sith Lord, or she's very much on the Jedi side, I guess, which again makes no sense. She arrests May, tells her that, yeah, Soul killed your mom, but he was such a good guy, and that was a bad thing he did. And Osha and Chimera, the stranger, Smilo Ren, whatever, they end up on his planet, and that's it. Like, and then at, little post-credit teaser, Venestra, sorry to bother you, Master, I gotta talk to you about something, and it's her talking to Yoda. This show is awful. It's awful. As a murder mystery, it's awful. As from character standpoint, terrible. There was actually, I didn't find as many bad acting points in this one. I actually thought there was some decent one. I actually didn't mind Amanda Steinberg. I thought she had some pretty emotional beats. I'll give her that. I will give her that. And again, it's really hard playing, because she's playing the two characters and she has to react off herself. So I'll give her that. Like, I know some people won't, but I'll give her that. She actually had some decent acting moments in this. But again, the transition from May going to light, Osha going to dark, dark side of the Force, whatever. Like, you're still with a guy who killed a bunch of your friends, right? Like, or people you knew. One was at least your friend. One, you kind of hinted that you were, there was some romance in there. May still killed 2 other Jedi. Why did Torben drink that poison? Why? What did Chimera have to do with this? Why did they kill the Wookiee? Like, he was just controlled. He didn't do anything. How did the witches all, like, so apparently they did die when they were controlling the Wookiee, Kalnaka, and Indara just pushed them out of his mind, and they all died from that? What is happening? What is happening to Star Wars? This was so bad. Yeah, I got nothing else. And I gave as much as I could in this review, and it's probably still be another long episode. This was awful. It was so, like, what is happening? What is happening to Star Wars? Can we, oh man, this was really bad. I got nothing else. If you liked it, please tell me why. Like, don't just say that I'm wrong for not liking it. Tell me what you liked about it, because that's okay if you like it. It doesn't bother me that someone likes something I don't like. That's your opinion. You're allowed to like me. I just think, in my opinion, there's so much wrong with this show, and with such a cool premise, it failed. It failed, and it doesn't even feel like Star Wars. I didn't know who to root for. I don't know what the characters wanted. Like, I at least understood that May wanted Soul to confess, but what did you want before that? Right? Like, and same with Osha. And what does Chimera, like, he says he wants an Acolyte. And then there's this whole thing where they're 2 halves of the same person. I was expecting them to fuse, and then the fusion would have gone off with Chimera. I don't know. This, so disappointing. Just so disappointing. Please tell me if you liked it. And I guarantee that I just missed a bunch of stuff that other people will catch. But God, this was bad. I got nothing else to say. Leave your comments down below. If you like the show, just again, tell me why. Just don't tell me I'm wrong for liking it, because I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for liking it. I'm just saying how I feel about it. Anyway, I've repeated myself enough. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.